Alright, hi guys. So, I'm just going to take you along today and show you how I make my bath bombs. First thing, I work in grams on some of my ingredients and also ounces when it comes to the liquid portion. So, alright. So I know this recipe by heart. I've done it. I've fine-tuned this and I've memorized my recipes. So this is baking soda. Whoopsie. Tear that out. This is my citric acid. I know a lot of people don't put their citric acid in until later, but it doesn't even faze me in how I do this. So this is basically a process that I'm used to doing, and normally I would have protection on around my mouth and my mask, but for the sake of the video, pretty sure you don't want to hear me muffled, so I'm going to keep it off right now. But the particles are definitely small enough that you will want to wear some kind of protection. Tear that out. We have colloidal oatmeal. And I do use this between all of my dry ingredients. It is clean, it's just specifically for that purpose, so I don't have a problem not having it one for each one. I will eventually get one, but not right now. Alright, and then the next one, let's see. We got the next one will be cornstarch. Tear that out. Perfect. Out. My kaolin clay, I need to get more. Running low. Alright, now I don't use this with every one of my bath bomb recipes because some of my bath bombs are vegan. This will not be a vegan bath bomb. So I am using the powdered goat's milk, and I use this. It really does add a lot more bubbles, and sometimes you just want a lot of bubbles, but also it really leaves your skin feeling just, you know, soft, amazing, and that's all I'm going to say about it. If you're a soap maker, you know what I mean. Gotta stay in regulations, so. Oops. 2 grams, let me tear that out. Perfect. That actually was perfect. Okay. SLSA, another one I need to get some more on. And again, this would be one you would definitely want to have some protection on to cover your mouth and your nose, because this is very fine and it's airborne. I almost did that one without tearing it out. Okay, so see, yeah, I can already tell. That is why you would definitely want to wear something over your face. And my last ingredient for the dry is my cream of tartar. I had this over here from before, so. Okay. So, those are my dry ingredients. I'm not counting my colorant that I'm going to use, my micas and my dyes, but I'm going to go ahead and mix this together, and then I will transfer it. I'm probably going to transfer it into this bucket here. In fact, I will. I'll just go ahead and do that. Very carefully, since it's got all those fine powders in there. But I'm going to keep this because I'm actually going to make 2 different bath bombs, as you see the 2 different eggs. So I'm going to have each one colored differently. But I'm going to just mix this up by hand real quick. Okay, you can kind of see some of that dust coming up in the air. This is what I normally do. It's my witch hazel. I like to add some of that in there just to make sure that I'm not wasting too much of my SLSA or my citric acid. Okay, it's not perfect or anything, but that's enough for me to go ahead, tear this out. I'm going to also change it over to the mode. I'm going to go to ounces, tear it out again, and now I'm going to be putting in my polysorbate 80. Oops. And that is needed because of the dyes and the makeups I'm going to be using. I do not want it staining my customers' bathtubs or them. I want them to have a really relaxing, wonderful bathing experience and not being tinged by the color. That would not make a happy customer. Alright. Now, this one I already measured out. It doesn't really matter on this. So this here is a combination of coconut oil and not fractionated. This is just coconut oil, and then also some shea butter, organic shea butter, that I melted down on really low heat, and that was already pre-measured. I will just go ahead and put that in there right now. I'm not going to be a stickler about getting every bit out because I'm going to melt down some more when this video is over. I'm going to make some more bath bombs. So, all right, there we go on that. I don't need this now. So I am using these two together for my green. I got this from Nurture Soap. They are my go-to for so many of my supplies. I absolutely love them. Not all of them, like not all of my supplies, but I love just so many things of theirs. Now for me, this is kind of based on experience and the color of green that I'm wanting. And like, I don't want this to be a super dark green, so it only takes a teeny little bit. Sometimes I do bloom my baking soda, and but today I'm not. I'm just going ahead and getting this together. Now this could possibly make my mixture too wet because I forgot it, but it's okay. I know how to deal with it. I'm not at all worried. I'm just putting this in here very slowly. Okay. I remember everything now. It's all in there that I needed. That's ridiculous. Okay, so I will just go ahead and mix that in really good. All right. So to get this started, there's a few clumps in there. To get this started, you see what I'm doing? Okay. We're just gonna go down as far as I possibly can without having it come down. Now I don't want to pack it excessively, but I'm just going to kind of pop that off. Then I do this, make sure that the bottom looks like it's pretty straight. If you don't, your molds will come out uneven. So then I go ahead and I just get in there. Oops. Yeah, nope. If it doesn't work out, you can just always put it back, crumble it up, put it back. It's not that big a deal. So I don't get it on there all the way. I see some pieces that are not quite in there. It's because I spoke about it and now. Okay. So we put it over backwards. And then you push down at the same time you're pulling up with your fingers under here. And then you just take that off. And there's your egg. There are a few pieces in there that are not. It's like, it's a little bit of the oil because I put it in there with, it was colder liquid pretty close together. And that can do that. But I'm actually going to have sprinkles on here and I will be painting. It's not really going to be that noticeable. It's still not a big deal to me. So I am a perfectionist, but I'm not that bad when it comes to the color of my bath bombs and every little piece on it being perfect. So again, just go make sure that that's even. So I've done this so long I don't even pay attention, but as you notice I was spritzing my witch hazel in there. This is for the newbies. I know all the people that are regular soapers know this, but for the newbies you really have to be careful how much liquid you put in there because otherwise your batch is not going to turn out right. So you really want to be able to grab it and have it stick together. So like this is just perfect. Now if it was too wet I would get little warts is what they call them. They would be coming up. Those are still, you can still manage it. You can still push them back It takes quite a bit of babysitting and it's not so much fun. It also depends on your climate. If it's really humid, you don't want to do these on a rainy day or an overcast day that's misting or anything like that. You want to make sure that it's good weather out. In Minnesota though, it's March. We don't have a lot of humidity right now, so I'm good. Alright, I'm going to come back when I'm done with these and I'm working on the other batch. Alright, these are what I got made. So it was a small batch and then I end up having just a small little one at the end. I'm just going to give that to the kids. Probably the boys will grab that up for their bath. I usually do like to give them something. So I'm now on to the next batch. I teared it out. Now I'm going to add fruit slices. Is what it's called by Lone Star Candle Supply. And I see my glove is broke, but oh well. I'll change it in a minute. Oh, right there. So since I have that on there, I'm just going to add a little bit of the yellow. I want these to be yellow for the base. And I like my yellow to be just a little bit darker. So I'll start with that. Let me grab a different glove though.
This is going to distract so many people. It's going to distract me.
Let me see, can I get that down? So how you can tell that you're even on the bottom is you push down how you want it, like so you can go around. Do you see how I'm doing that? You just kind of push it down and you can't push it back in, so I know then that is even. Now put a little bit more in there. Not much. You don't want to have it so packed that your bath bombs are like really heavy and then they want to just sink all the time. I'm not saying all mine will float, but I don't like to overpack. This one is a little bit overpacked. I'm going to go with it. So then I will just paint the stripes, little designs. What an idiot. Gosh. Also, really pay attention to what side is in here. Oh my word. What is with me today? Okay, so this is, I'm going to let this dry for a little bit. I'm going to keep an eye. There's a couple of them here that are getting a couple little warts, if you see that. You can see these little warts right here. So what you're going to want to do is keep a real close eye on that and just come around and just kind of poke it back down. Not like poke it, but just kind of gently get it back down in position. And then just keep doing that. As they come up and they pop up, just carefully put them back down. And in a little bit of time, it will be dry enough that they won't do that. Okay, so I started this. I got my colors that I'm going to use on this egg right here. I'll probably use them on this one. Basically what you do is you put your mica or your dye or whatever you're going to use for your color, and as long as it's FDA approved safe, you need to make sure of that before you just use any old color. Definitely cannot use food coloring if you're planning on reselling or selling. So anyway, you put your dye in there. I'm just using an old bath bomb mold. You can get these anywhere, they're really cheap. I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. But I just mixed a little bit of rubbing alcohol, the isopropyl 91%, and basically just use any old brush that you have designated for this job, and you just mix them. You just kind of have to eyeball it. Now the blue could turn a little green because obviously blue and yellow make green, but that's fine. I don't even mind. I like the color too, so we'll just see what happens. And I'm basically just gonna go and follow this line, and it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just to add a little bit of a fun design and make it more appealing for children or adults. See, like I'm not on all in the line right there, but you can go a little out of the line. It's not even a big deal. And I'm being a little bit slow right now, but once I get into the routine, you can whip through these pretty quick. So then I'll just go along and I use up the one color first, wipe off my brush, and then I will go ahead and use another color. So I'm going to do that. I'll probably put you guys in, speed it up a little bit so it's not so long and boring. And I'll just show you how I do that. So